Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another Wednesday. Today's actually a special Wednesday. It's birthday Wednesday for Beth. Beth, happy birthday. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm happy it's my birthday. Um,
Congratulations. Awesome.
yeah, so it's a day to celebrate. So let's just celebrate. Let's just have a fun video day.
Exactly. A party session today, right? So, I want to say, again, Beth, it's been such a pleasure to connect with you every Wednesday. So today is no exception. And actually, thank you for coming in on your birthday and sharing with our friends as well. Today, we want to talk about the topic of, you know, building patience when you're trying to create your audience, right? A lot of artists usually message me, Sergio, how can I quickly or build my audience or get a lot of followers or, all these things. So I know we all want to build things fast, right? But it takes time. So I want to talk a little bit about that today. How do you like that topic, Beth?
I love that topic because I think we all need a little more patience.
I know, right? Including myself. I think all of us. Yeah. And maybe that's something that now during the pandemic, we have all we had no choice but become more patient, right? As we deal with life and the way life has changed. But let's talk a little bit about, building our audience, particularly when it comes to social media and how hard it takes, how long it takes to. I know that, today building an audience in Instagram, for example, is much more difficult than it was 3 years ago because
Hmm.
things change, right? Now, if you go to TikTok, maybe faster than Instagram because it is the newest thing. Maybe 3 years from now, that would be very different, right? So, it's kind of relative to those things. So I would like to start with the first thing. One of the first things I think when we are building an audience of any kind is to understand that there's a process, right?
Hmm.
Understand there's a process, because we understand the process, then we are not, we don't feel like something is wrong if my audience is not growing really fast. It takes time. It takes time. And I know, Beth, you have built also quite a really nice audience when you were in Nashville. How long did it take, when you started thinking about this idea of, the Nashville Creative Group, until you started growing?
Well, I've been building my audience way before I started the creative group. Just being an artist and wanting to
Mhm.
sell art, I started blogging and doing social media in 2007.
There you
So that
go.
gives you some indication of how long I've been at this. And with my, undergraduate in business with a focus on marketing, digitally marketing myself was my
Mhm.
number one priority, like in the later 2007,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10. And it wasn't until 2012 that I started building the National Creative Group. And so I think it just takes time, and you can't just build an audience for the numbers. Like, you have to
Right.
build it because you care about the people you're serving and you care about the people that you're engaging with. And so by
Mhm.
listening to what it is that they need, what it is that they like from you, that's what's the most important. So I would say stop focusing on the numbers and start focusing on the people and their needs and how you can best serve them. And then the numbers will naturally just go up anyways.
Totally in bed. I think it's because your birthday, but I think you read my mind. 'Cause actually, that's my point number two. It is focus on the quality of your audience versus the quantity of your audience. So I think you said it perfectly. And we almost had to move to number three, but let's expand a little bit on number two. Yeah, so important. And I always tell, artists that I'm working with, if you are not right now willing to put the time to really uh, uh, connect with the few that you have, what does it make you think that when you have, five times more, you have the time or the energy to do it, right? So kind of expend the time that you have right now, take care of those 100, 200, 500 that you have now, because it is now more personalized. Now that the audience is small, once it becomes much larger, then you cannot give the same attention to everyone as you had when they were, just a few. So use actually um, the time that you have right now with your smaller audience to provide amazing value, amazing connection as an artist, providing, showing up to them, even if sometimes when you show up, feels like nobody's watching or nobody's listening or nobody's commenting. That's okay. You just never know who's on the other side. Because, as you grow slowly, then you'll already be used to connecting and you'll have a much better time with that. Numbers can be really deceiving, right? Numbers can really sometimes be hurtful too, where you know when you start your Instagram account and you have 200 followers, and then you wake up the next morning and you lost 5. It's like, what happened? What did I do? What did I say? It has happened to everybody, right? From 5 to hundreds, that sometimes you wake up in the morning like, what happened? Where did all these people go? So have you experienced some of that yourself?
Of course I have. At first it was like, why are they leaving? What's going on? But really, like, if you think about all the bots that follow you, all the marketing accounts that want you to partner with them, and then if they're trying to build their audience, then they're doing the follow for follow. And so then they are going to, like, delete you if you don't follow them back. And of course, I wouldn't recommend just following everyone who follows you. Make sure you build like a community around you of people who are going to, be a part of what you have going on, not just like for sales or for likes or for numbers sake,
Right.
So just keep that in mind, that if you lose followers, like, it's okay. You're only just creating more of a community that is going to be the best group for you. And if you're losing followers, it's just because they weren't meant to be there. So don't take it personally. Exactly.
That's the main thing, not to take it personally, because, sometimes artists do, and anyone, when you feel like, why are they leaving me? But there are, as you said, many reasons why it may happen. And sometimes it's just robots who are automatically following and unfollowing people around. But Beth, you're in a role today because you already give away my third point, which is to build community.
We did not plan this.
But it must be your birthday magic today, because it's just, you're on a roll. So the third point is building community, right? Building community is such an important part of it. And that's something that, when I started my social media, when I started my Instagram and Facebook and so on, I was doing kind of like what everybody was doing, which was where we saw it as a way of promotions. Okay, how there's a new place where I can go and promote my art. Right, promote, or post this, right? I'm going to have a show, so it's promotion. So, back then I wasn't really thinking about building a community. I was just thinking about, okay, this is a marketing tool, so I'm going to use it, but not really to build community. Then once I started changing my mindset and figuring out, well, actually, there's a lot of people on the other side who are, just like me, right? Individuals. So we can start actually having conversations and connections and things like that. That totally changed the way I now I approach my social media every day, and build my audience slowly, right? And when you have that sense of community that you want to address or join your community, the moment you log into that social media account, it totally changes your mindset, because then you begin to do a lot of what we have been talking about for the last 30 episodes, right? Which is storytelling, which is the best way to connect with others, because now you feel like you're talking to people. It's hard to do storytelling if you don't imagine a person on the other side that you're talking to, right? You cannot tell a story to a machine or to a thing, but when it's a person, it totally changes your dynamic. And so I think for our friends, building a sense of community around your art is the best thing you can do. It doesn't matter if you have 100 followers or 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 million, right? It's that sense of community. And I think we have seen in social media personalities that have built amazing communities, based on their emphasis that they give to create a sense that we are close to them, no matter how big the account gets.
Yeah, when I started my community, we had like 20 people that we were meeting up with every month. And then we thought, this is so great. Let's turn this into a Facebook group. And so, we started with such a small number, and now we're over 9,000 members. And
amazing.
It has just been the best thing for me. I love community so much. It is just what makes my heart the fullest, connecting with people and seeing what other people are doing. And it's just such an inspiring place to spend your time. And so now that we're so big, I don't feel like we've really lost that sort of small group feeling, because the way we built it all along was to connect, share, and encourage. And so that's all we're really there to do. And we do that by sharing our work and, connecting with each other around the work that they make, and just keeping and encouraging everyone to just keep creating, because that's why we're there. And I love it so much. And I don't know what my life would be like without it. I don't even want to think about it, because like community is everything to me. And because, we're in a time where we're isolated from seeing people right now, like having those online communities has meant the world to me. So I'm so thankful.
Super cool, Beth. Well, thank you so much for, sharing and for, also bringing about those points and topics that I really wanted to touch on. You did it perfectly. You did it absolutely. So before we wrap it up for today, and again, remind our friends that, have patience. More than anything, have patience. Good things take time to build. I always say, like, good things that are worthwhile pursuing take time to build. And then you'll enjoy the process of building them versus trying to do tricks and that will just build numbers, but really will not build connection. So, that's kind of like what I want to share with you today. So our friends, if you want to connect with Beth, when can they go?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Beth English. You can follow the Nashville Creative Group on Instagram, see what we have going on. So I would just love to connect with you. Leave me a message, leave a comment. I'll be there watching. So if you have something to add, just let me know. I'll be right there. And
super. And I have a totally new way to connect with me, which is through text. I'm just starting a text community. So text me at 708-7. I'm sorry. I'm going to edit that part. So text me at 708-627-9103. Again, 708-627-9103. That's my new texting community where every day I'm chatting with people, commenting. So great surprises will be coming your way. So it's going to be a great way to connect with me. So thank you so much, Beth. I will see you next episode. Enjoy your birthday. Have lots of fun, lots of cake, and wishing you all the best, many, many more years to come.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.